All right, guys. I just wanted to do an instant reaction to the Josh Taylor Jose Ramirez fight. Um, Honestly, it was a matter of Skillz paid the bills in that fight. I mean, when it comes to boxing, the more you have, the more equipped you're gonna be for any given circumstance, no matter what the fighter may bring to you, no matter what the opponent may have for you. Of course, that sounds like common sense, and of course, it sounds easier said than done. But you know, usually a boxer who can punch, a boxer who can brawl, a boxer who can bang, a boxer who can do those things is usually going to beat a guy who's one dimensional. You know, that's usually how it works. And that's what we saw tonight. That's what basically happened tonight. Um, you know, when it comes down to it, swarming and just throwing volumes of punches and punches can only get you so far. And that's what Jose Ramirez was banking on. He was just banking on just like swarming, going in, swarming, trying to hurt him and things like that. And it just never happened because Josh Taylor was the more skillful boxer. Josh Taylor was using his jab more efficiently. Josh Taylor was using angles. And Josh Taylor in the 6th and 7th round capitalized off of mistakes that Ramirez made. And this just goes to show you again that if you are just one dimensional and just have a certain style, that it's not going to work against all the guys. So what happened is that literally Jose Ramirez ran into the shots in which knocked him down. The first shot was a check hook, and the thing is, he came in head first. All Josh Taylor did was step back, let loose, and boom, he got him. That's how that worked. And then the second shot, it was the same thing. Jose Ramirez came in head first, boom, check uppercut to the chin. And then after that, I mean, I'm sorry to say it, but if you have 2 knockdowns in the fight, I mean, your only bet of winning that fight is getting 2 knockdowns yourself or stopping the guy, because 2 knockdowns means it's a 10-8 round. So that's exactly what happened. And unfortunately for Ramirez, his morale was taken away after those knockdowns. That's what happened. And, it's just a matter of superior boxing versus a, a guy who just wanted to slug it out. That's really what happened. And then another thing about that is Josh Taylor showed that he can not slug it out, but at least shoot it out with him. And he was exchanging with him at points in the fight as well. And so that just goes to show you what time it is. Now, there was something that I kind of didn't like that Josh Taylor did, towards the second half of the fight, towards the ending of the fight. What Josh Taylor did was he kept on holding, holding. And I really thought he could have did more in that fight. I thought he could have closed the show. After that uppercut, you got to capitalize on those things. But unfortunately, he just coasted along, and he just kept on holding, instead of just maybe letting his hands go a little bit more and inflicting more damages, which he could have did. I believe he could have did, but maybe he was just winded. Maybe he was just out of, I want to say maybe he was just out of gas, man. So he didn't really want to push the issue like that. Now, again, footwork, when you have that, it beats the plotter. footwork. When you have that, it beats the guy who's just going to come to you in a straight line. And that's what Ramirez was doing. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know what's next um, for, Josh Taylor in the 140 division. I mean, I think Tank moved up to 140. So we just have to wait to see what Tank does in the Mario Barrios fight, um, and see if he can possibly, maybe, Josh Taylor can fight the winner. But I really do think that Josh Taylor would be too big for Tank. The only way that Tank will have a chance is if he would just like really hurt him early on. I believe that's what he will have a chance with. Now, I don't know what Josh Taylor is going to do. I mean, he's undisputed now. So, I mean, maybe the best bet for him is perhaps that Tank fight is a possibility. Perhaps holding out on the Teofimo fight if Teofimo decides to move up. And you never know. Devin Haney may want to move up to 140. He may want to go to that avenue and test his skills. And also, in that 140 division, you have who else that may want a piece of the action. Well, it's still too early for Richardson Hitchens. He's still being brought along calmly. But I don't know. Maybe Josh Taylor moves up to welterweight. I don't think he's too small for welterweight. I think he's big enough for welterweight. Or I'm trying to think who else could he fight in the division since he did what he needed to do in the division. I don't know. Maybe he may entertain a Regis Prograis rematch. I do know one thing. Ben Davison is a good trainer. And I think it's good that Devin Haney actually has him in his camp for this Jorge Linares fight. I think that's a good look, actually. So I can't wait to see what happens with that combination together. But let me know what y'all thought about the fight, man. Let me know how you felt it went. But anyhow, Fool is signing out. Njada, man.